right. Peace to the guys. Peace to the guys. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, we in the building. Some of us in the building already. Y'all go ahead and hit like as you come in. You got to change the algorithms. You know how they do this page here. So let's hit the like. Let's keep on commenting. Talk to each other. Let's also subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, let's do it in the right way. So um, like I say, share the platform as well. Share the platform. Peace, peace. Top to bottom. Peace, King Black, AJ, Kasha. Yeah, yeah. Where everybody from? Make sure y'all share the platform. Peace, Kendra. Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? It's a beautiful Sunday where I'm at. You know, I'm in the Midwest, St. Louis, that is, and yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful today. Peace of Sean. Yeah, yeah. Y'all going to share the platform. Have an interesting episode today. It's a lot of truth and lies that's been going out, but that's the given. People be peopling. People like the whole grudges. People like the whole all these type of negative things and the hate, the everything. So that's what we here to talk about and really put things into perspective because it's always three sides to every story. You got the two, different sides, and you have the truth as well. But we're here to definitely seek the truth because that's what we're gonna do. So we got Atlanta up in the building. Where everybody from? Where everybody from? Let's share the platform. Let's share the platform for sure, for sure. Let me make sure I share the platform as well. It's definitely going to be an interesting episode. I tell you what, for the people that love to drink tea, this is definitely one of those episodes as well. So if y'all want to brew some tea, get some tea ready. I mean, it's healthy anyway. I know it's a little warm outside, but we still need some type of tea, that put some ice in it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do it in the right way. So we got Virginia up in the building, Richmond, Virginia. We got Cali, Granlette. Let's see. Who else we got? What other cities and countries or states or whatever that we have in the building, or tribes or towns? Like where we all at? Where we all at? Let's get it popping. Let me make sure I share my own live. Let's see. Let's get it popping. We need more people in here watching. For sure, for sure. A lot of people enjoying their Sundays. Let's see, we got South Carolina. Yeah, we got ATL, the way of New Jersey. Okay. More New Jersey up in the building. All right. So we from all over. Let me share. All right. We actually have a few different individuals actually coming to the platform today to tell their truth, how they see it, sides of the story, things like that. So, like I say, you may want to grab your tea, popcorn, or whatever you need to take in this information and do it in the right way. So, I'm seeing the numbers going up little by little. All right. So I tell you what, so if they come late, they come late. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going ahead and play my intro. So I like to start it with some good old music. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be jamming this joint for a long time, until I find a new joint. Let's get it popping, and I'll holler at you after this one.
Since O won't rattle O unless he gone in the membrane. Drank or smoked something that drove him insane. Since I don't do evil with plans to live like a true geezer, I won't succumb to tongue, gonna root evil. Got a reading from a Babylon, and he told me the path I'm on is like a Chinese banker that's lonely. So I cross T's and dot I's. Dead beef like a deadbeat pops. Pops that's not mine. I stay silent with the silence, silent round the salads. Evil green with envy, or green they ain't been around it. The movement's been co-opted, and the streets is not it. Stuck between a rock and a dike box, and glad it's not thick. I could either chisel or sizzle my way out, cause gate route and blowing my brains out is played out. With mouths to feed and minds to free, I stay esophageal up and suckers mouths for me.
I thought that I could do it by my lonely. Try to get right, so many folks is wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the homies, no love for the foe, man. We at war, you see, it's gonna take more than me. So what's it gonna be? You wanna be on the free. I thought that I could do it by my lonely. Master self, don't be a slave to these conditions. We was raised to be forgiven, not to ourselves, but those who changed us for them digits and rearranged it in prisons, projects, and a crack epidemic. So I'm raised first and last, even after we finish. Our power black being menace to anyone attacking our women. We smashing the limits, still standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. Keep our heart from getting colder. If you feel me, I share you. It's betrayal every day though. More hollows than halos, so I stay low, swing low. Sweet chariot, I'm gonna ride the liberation train, go and see Harriet. Ain't no fearing, take confidence and we wearing it everywhere we is. Stick to the script or flip the narrative. The symbols predicted our dominance. Me and my conglomerates. I thought that I could do it by my lonely. Try to get right, so many folks is wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the homies, no love for the foe, man. We at war, you see, it's gonna take more than me. So what's it gonna be? You wanna be on the free. I thought that I could do it by my lonely.
Now see, nothing makes me angrier when we talk about our civil rights and what we've missed. But here comes the Asians in to join us. Here comes the Latinos in talking about their civil rights. Here comes white women in talking about theirs, the Mexicans, all of these people. And I don't know if some of you are very, very young, but in my experience growing up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I never knew that anybody who was sent to the back of the bus because she was a white woman. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were homosexual. Nobody was sent to the back of the bus because they were Asian and Latin. They were sent to the back of the bus because their faces were black. And now all of these groups are wanting to come in now and take the things that owe us. And some of our leaders stand up there and say, oh, we're all one. We should include everyone that's going in. Every time I hear them do that, I just want to pick up a sock, a shoe, or something and throw it at the television.
I thought that I could do it by my lonely. Try to get right, so many folks is wrong, man. So you know I keep it on, man. No hate for the homies, no love for the foe, man. We at war, you see, it's gonna take more than me.
Support black media. Peace to the gods.
See, this is why I'm not mistaken by these leaders. See, anytime, first of all, you can't lead me when you call an organization rainbow because there's no black in a rainbow, as you all always know.
All right, let's go ahead and get it popping. Peace to the guys. And like I say, I need for y'all to hit the like button, go ahead and share the platform to your different social medias. We got to get this word out. We got to get this special message out as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be, like I say, an interesting episode. Let's go ahead and get it popping. So I'm going to go ahead and bring my sister up, you know, and I'm going to let her introduce herself and also talk about some of the things that's actually going on. The truth, I would like to say, because like I say, that's what we are focused on today. So peace to the God, my sister. How are you doing today?
Peace, brother. I'm doing fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I can't complain at all. Yeah, so definitely brought you to this platform because it's been some things that's been put out, you know, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know exactly what's going on. I'm just hearing like one side of the story, things like that that's been put out, and I'm hearing that it's lies or it's misunderstandings and all this type of things, you know. So first off, you know, I definitely want you to introduce yourself and tell the people exactly, you know, who you are and, you know, where you come from and what brings you to this platform here.
Okay, great. Once again, my name is Sister Aisha Lynn Wilson. I am a native, born and raised in Chicago, foundational Black American. My grassroots go back to plantations down south. And I have been in the conscious community for like 8 years. And I've been with the Black Guerrilla Army for 7. Um, what's going on right now, what we're discussing tonight is what happened, what went on in Wilson, North Carolina with the tribunal. A lot of people had their input but didn't know the whole story, and so they was just going off of what they felt, I guess, but should have done. I am one of the investigators. It was between me and the general of Black Guerrilla Army by the name of King Amir Shakur, who was investigating all these grievances that other comrades had that belonged to different organizations. So we started questioning people in August of last year. And so I had a chance to interview both sides of people who were complaining about each other, as well as I was virtually there at the tribunal trying to take notes as well. And then after the tribunal that was set, we formed a council from different Black movement organizations so we could come together and put a code in with bylaws so we can all abide by it. You understand? Absolutely. So in between, after the tribunal, the general of Black Guerrilla Army who hosted the event and put the event together with me was basically falling off. He wasn't, we were first a council member that was trying to put things together and make laws and codes and whatnot. But as time progressed, nothing was happening. No accomplishments of 10 things that we needed to do as a council ever moved forward. So in between time, me and King Amir got kind of close, and we were like engaged to each other at the time. And so that was also a distraction. But in between time we were together, I was still pushing him to, let's do the white ball list, let's do the codes of conduct and the bylaws. And it was always procrastination on his part until another person who was part of the freedom fighters called me and told me that they had an encounter. And that encounter that they had was previous before me and him got together. And when he broke up with Demetria, me and another comrade called her because I guess he claimed that she was harassing him. So me and another comrade got on the phone and tried to talk to her to tell him to let her go. And that was that. This year in April is when she contacted me and showing me text messages of them communicating. And she also said that the news from the tribunal that she took for the general still kept. So she was holding information that had our personal information on it of everyone that was in the tribunal.
So I think you breaking up just a little bit. I just want to make sure we can get everything, so it's just a little choppy.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
Anything you can fix on your end. Just a little.
Is this better? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Okay. So so I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, that's fine. We're not together anymore. We still did podcasts, but he fell off again, and he was focusing his thing on the lost souls of America. But I'm like, so what are we going to do about this tribunal? Demetria still have all of our information on who we are and what organization we belong to, and she refused to give it back to him because he didn't want to be intimate with her, or whatever the case may be. So she decided to go on Taharka Bay platform to try to expose what happened at the tribunal, but she didn't know what happened before or who all we questioned before that tribunal happened and what happened afterwards. All she has is the notes that King Amir asked her to take for the tribunal. Other information that she has against comments, she doesn't know anything about. So she tried to make herself relevant enough, and she's only been in the Black movement, I guess, for like 2 years. So she really didn't have any experience in that field or her place to say anything because no one included her in the council. And the only reason why she went to the tribunal was to make a complaint against another comrade from another organization. So when I was trying to expose her on Taharka Bay's show, I showed him all of the text messages that me and Demetria had between last year, November, till April of this year. And he knew everything that what I'm saying to you, as far as me being the investigator, the bookkeeper, the record keeper, me being virtually there for the tribunal, as well as being part of the council of the tribunal. But she told Taharka that nothing happened after the tribunal. Nothing was fixed. Oh no, cared about what happened, and that's not true. There are other brothers and sisters that was also trying to expose the perpetrators that's within our Black movement that is sabotaging other organizations.
Well, why do you think this particular person or these people is trying to sabotage these movements? Like, how did this even come about? You know, like, is this?
Well, I mean, if you look at the history,
go ahead.
If you look at history, you will see that the FBI, the Alphabet Boys, are always hiring people that look like us to try to sabotage their movement, to try to stop us from moving forward. You know, to try to cause confusion and counterintelligence.
So you feel like these particular people are sent, you know, to these groups in order to like sabotage different things that's going on? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you said that these members was a part of what was that group again?
That was the Freedom Fighters from Charlotte, North Carolina. That would be Brother
Freedom
Charles. Fighters. That would be Sister Demetria Dorsey, Cece, and Veronica. And then there's also King JX that's on there. We actually need to do a part 2 for all the people that I have on here for the white ball list. Because even after that tribunal and me, King Amir Shakur, stopped speaking, I actually was introduced to some other comrades who were more legit and was more about taking care of business. And so I collaborated with them, and they also too had like a white ball list. And it was just so happened that the list that they had and the list that we had were damn near identical with the suspects of people who was trying to sabotage our movement.
So real quick, can you explain the white ball list and exactly what that is?
Yes, actually, yes. That's a great question. The white ball lists are people within the Black community who look like us that are trying to sabotage or perpetrate the movement, sell out that I'm speaking of. And the white ball list that we're going to develop is not only going to include people from the Black militia group, but it's also going to include the politicians, the activists, the entertainers. We're going to just clean this whole slate of all those who are not speaking up for us or against us.
Right. So you're right. So it's basically people that's, like you said, you know, they're speaking against us and against us. Basically, people not to even mess with or involve yourself with. You know, that those are the people that's on the white ball list. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And Taharka Bay, you're number 1 in our list. Yes. Mm-hmm. He tried to sabotage and slander so many good brothers and sisters that were doing so many positive things within our community. And the only thing he can do or talk about is the derogatory stuff, or try to make it seem like this person isn't about that life.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, I did see a piece on that show where you was actually on there for a short second, you know, and then he cut 5 you minutes. Off. You know? Yeah, mm-hmm. So you know, I don't really, because if it's all about truth and research, then everyone should be allowed. You should be able to hear all sides to it. You know what I mean? So mm-hmm. why wasn't he?
And this is the first time that he had ever cut a guest off in less than 5 minutes. Mm. Yes, okay. I brought up one name, Brother Charles, and I guess since that's his age, cool and boon or whatever, he was cool with Charles. He didn't like the fact that I was talking negative about him. But brother, this brother got a record here that's around the corner with arrest. But yet you want him to be one of our leaders of a Black movement organization, and then his flunkies that's a co-signing with him also have that they try to sabotage other movements and other generals as well. So it wasn't just King Bishop Court that the was trying to holler at. She was, from what I'm hearing from other comrades, that Brother Charles is sending the MC to different. Mm-hmm.
You breaking up
Go
again?
ahead.
You
I'm sorry. I'm moving around.
It's choppy a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
And let me see. It's gotta. Yeah, it's definitely gotta be something on your end. So, now here's a question. Because I guess somebody want to know who's all on the list. I know you said Tahaka Bay is definitely one of them, and I guess it's just curiosity, like who's all on that list as of right now.
Okay, I'm just gonna go over a few of them right now and explain their charges. Okay, well, we got the Tahaka Bay on there, most definitely. Hold on.
Yeah. So the people that have some type of example on what type of people, like what can you do to be put on that list?
What can you do to be put on that list? Is that your question?
Well, I was just adding on to the people that you're about to say, some of the people and the reasoning on why.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, I would bring up Brother Charles, aka Kirk Clint, first, because that was the first person that I was trying to explain what was his charges. Brother Charlie has a rape case that goes back to 2002. He also has drug charges and soliciting with minors, use of drugs while he was on duty in uniform. And I also have witnesses of those people who will join your platform to discuss their experience with Charles as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So let's start right there just for 1 second, because usually, my experience, even being with the New Black Panther Party, we did a background check, to find these different things about people just before you even join the group, join the organization. So how long has the Freedom Fighters actually been in existence? That's the first question, but it's probably going to be other questions after that. But how long have the Freedom Fighters actually been in existence?
They haven't been, the ones that's in Charlotte, North Carolina, only been in there for a handful of years.
Okay.
That's all I can say about that.
Now, I did hear something about Charles.
But the Brother Charles, he's been in the movement for quite some time. And actually, he was with Brother AJ at a moment when they were with Pansock. But he was only in Pansock for 14 months with AJ. And AJ only saw him like a handful of times with that, too.
Okay.
So, Brother Charles actually did go on a rescue mission with AJ Frazier back in 2017, but it was only for a heavy storm. It wasn't like a hurricane thing. So out of the 14 months, he only been on one rescue. And AJ, who created Pansock, he was charged for training costs like $10 or $15, but through Charles, he would charge his members like $100 or $200 more. So, he said that was between his formation of how much it cost, but this is how much Brother AJ charged. So, again, these relationships with these comrades, I didn't know anything of until I started investigating and started putting the pieces together of, who was connected with who and what person is actually putting in that work and what person is just perpetrating the movement.
Okay. I guess the question I was trying to ask is how was Charles able to be a part of any movement if he have these prior not
every that's a good question. Not every Black movement is thorough with the background checks, even including Black Guerrilla Army with my general. He doesn't even have an application available right now. And there are 10 things, as I mentioned, that is on that to-do list for the tribunal, and it's like 9, almost 10 months in, and nothing has been accomplished. So you're just talking with no action.
Gotcha.
And that seems to be a lot of problem with a lot of our Black movement organizations. They could talk and speak our language, but when it comes to putting in that groundwork, no one is there, or you step back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see that making it easy for infiltrators to actually come about, because so many of them is.
And then you also have to remember, if they are working with the alphabet boys, it's easy to clear their record.
That's true as well. Yeah. So it have to be about actions, versus whatever they say they're gonna do. So definitely,
right.
That's a difficult one. Yeah, something to watch out for. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So who else is on that list? Just to read just a few.
As I mentioned, my former general, because I'm not part of the Black Guerrilla Army, unfortunately, anymore, but he ignited a Panther Black Guerrilla type of beef, the Panthers and all that. No, we're not on that. I understand there are some bad apples in the bunch, but I can't just say fuck everybody who belongs to the Black Panthers. There's some good brothers and sisters that was there. He was mishandling information. Like I mentioned before, after that tribunal, he left his notebook with all of our information who was there in Demetria's car, and she never returned it, even after he asked her to. So he was mishandling the information, and you're a general. That's personal information. She could give that to the police at any time. And on top of that, he claimed to be associated with the underground organization, the Black Guerrilla Army. He's not. That's actually from what I've been told, that is like a drug gang or whatever that's in Baltimore. So, he's false flagging as well. So I'm asking him to step down. I already informed him that he needs to step down as a second man, or if he doesn't, it would not be recognized as a legitimate Black militia group. Because you're unorganized, you're all over the place.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, definitely have to be checked in a way, especially like you say, false flagging or being just counter-revolutionaries. Going against the
an imposter. Yeah, an imposter. So because of that, we don't need any of that in our movement. And when we were in council, the first meeting that we did have is like, no one is above reproach. If you're wrong and you did something wrong, you need to take accountability for it. But don't act like because you have a high ranking position that you can be checked. You can be checked very well, just as much as anyone else. And when it comes to our Black movement, this information that is Demetria has, that she is withholding from King, that's our information on there. We have families, at any point she could turn it in and call us a domestic terrorist. You understand? A Black extremist or anything. She could twist that around. That's valuable information to hold for somebody who's part of a Black militia group.
Yeah, so I just want to be clear, So really, like you wouldn't even came to this platform if information wasn't put out how it was put out,
No, I tried to send you some information about the conversations that me and Taharka Bey and me and Demetria had. But again, I also have witnesses that is on your panel right now that would like to come on your panel and speak of their experience with not only Taharka Bey so far, but Brother Charles, as well as Demetria Dorsey.
Yeah. Once they come in, I'll be more than happy to bring them up. I don't see anybody in just yet.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. So, as I mentioned with Demetria Dorsey, what is her charge? Let me go back. She's a provocateur, false allegations, withholding info, over-exaggerating, fraternizing with the comrades to get info to destroy organizations, and sexual harassment.
Wow.
So that is her charge with that.
And all of these you have receipts for, right?
Yes, yes. As I mentioned before, this is not only things that we have written down at the tribunal, but we also have witnesses to come forward to testify as well. And during the Taharka Bay show, some of my witnesses was trying to come on, but he wouldn't let them.
Yeah, so and I know some of the chat is saying different things. So look, we have to point out COINTELPRO. We have to point out the people that's not really for the movement. You know what I'm saying? So that's the important thing of this show, is so we can keep our eyes out, eyes open for these particular people. You know, so she's explaining some of the details that happen. Just so if it's any group that we're in, we should be able to see some of the same things and operate in a way where it's not going to hurt you or hurt the group in the end. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to check the people that's not really about what they say they are, you know, and move in the right way. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why to come forward. So she could definitely come clean, but also teach at the same time. Like, hey, we got to look out for these type of people. You know, we got to be A1 when it comes to our groups, you know, and our movement. So, but yeah, go ahead, sister.
Okay, the next person on my list is King JX. I'm pretty sure a lot of conscious people in the community has heard of him, but he is also on a white ball list for sexual misconduct with females and abuse, use of alcohol and drugs while on duty. Be real serious about that. Recklessness and endangering comrades and civilians, and misuse of funds. So everything that I'm stating here has already been proven. There are some people that are on my list that is still pending. Again, I'm just a poster child for this council. Not all of us are going to show our faces. But I told them that I don't mind being a poster child. I don't mind taking the L of whoever's trying to talk about me or anything. The truth needs to be out there. Let's speak truth to power.
Right.
Okay. Let me give you the next one. This brother right here, the reason why he was on the blackball list was because he was fraudulent with the advertisement, and he was against the PANSOG infiltration, mistreatment towards members, as well as has a potential informant, and this is who we know as Grandmaster J. But because that brother is already incarcerated, you know, he's really on like that anymore. Once he is released, he will be back on there, just in case he wants to infiltrate another movement.
That's an interesting one. That is an interesting one. All right.
Yes.
Now, one thing I do know about that particular brother, you know, I've heard a lot of things behind the scenes, you know, what a lot of people don't actually see. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people that came to me behind the scenes, like, hey, this brother is different from what you see on openly on platforms. It's a little different in person, you know. So I heard this from people that's not really with the move. I even heard this from just regular people that had a regular conversation with. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so just to keep that in mind on, you know, some of these people that she brings up, it's a lot of truth behind what she said, you know. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I just want to also tell our brothers and sisters that I came into investigating with a blind eye. I didn't know anyone personally from this, from any of these organizations like that. I didn't never get a chance to speak with them until it was time for me to investigate. So I couldn't really be biased. I couldn't have a strong opinion about a certain person, regardless of how many conversations we had, because I knew my mission was to make sure if they were guilty or not. And unfortunately, the general that I was following, he slipped up. He slacked. So just because you slack doesn't mean that, you know, my mission is over. My point is to make sure that these people do not infiltrate any other Black movement.
That's the thing right there, and it's good, like you say, that we are able to be our own judge and jury You know what I mean, per se. You know, when it comes to our organizations. You know, so really, this is almost like the courtroom and the peers. You know what I mean, and we just say, hey, here's what's going on. Here's the case. And just take a look at these people and take a look at their actions. What are they actually doing for the people? And just kind of watch out. You know what I mean? Watch out for these people. Because listen, if we didn't say anything, if you didn't say anything about it, then you know there will be another victim and another victim. You know what I'm saying? So we'll put this information out. You know, so yeah, but yeah, go ahead. So you said Jim
okay, this brother you recently interviewed, Rico Dukes. They put him on this list. They put him on this list. I was like, hey, okay, I don't know too much about the brother.
How long have you been on the list? How long have you been on the list? I'm curious.
Who, Rico Dukes?
Yeah.
Recently.
Just recently.
Like within the last month. Yeah, just like within the last month.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not so sure. That's why I'm not biased or anything. Again, we need further investigation with this one, and along with other cases that until the investigation is completed, I am not able to give you any more details about certain people because we don't know if they're innocent or guilty with that. Okay. But let me tell you what to look forward to. All right. We're going to begin a new tribunal that is going to be official, and it's going to be a collective of bodies. So basically, every Black militia group from this country will be together to collaborate and have an official code that we all can oblige by. Okay. We're also going to have a national hotline / website for all the people who have grievances with certain people in the movement. So that way we will have like a drug kit, rape kit, any voice clips or text messages, any type of evidence that you have that you want to provide against a certain person that offended you. We will have all that on record, including the case numbers. The next thing we're going to have, as I said, we're going to have a code of conduct with bylaws that will be established to help out our Black movement organization. The white ball list is still continuing. And that will be a national white ball list. So all of the perpetrators that is within the movement will be called out. So anytime they wanted to try to join another organization within our Black movement, we will have a heads up on who they are and what they were charged with. And that will also not only include for the Black militia, but also our politics, our activists, and we could even go further as far as entertainers. We're trying to clean the whole slate, understand? And the last but not least is our resource book of each formation specialty. Okay, we know a lot of our brothers and sisters are talented. It may be one person from your formation that knows how to do plumbing. It may be another person from your formation that knows how to work on cars or knows how to hook up, take care of it. We need all of your skills. Put it book. We can all look up and so we can practice economics.
So say that part one more again because you was breaking up. Say that last part one more time.
I mentioned, yeah, we're going to have a resource book. You can still hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
You hear me?
Good.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to have a resource book for each formation and their specialties so we can practice group economics.
Okay. That's what's up. Hey, I'm definitely with that as far as like hopping on code, you know, and tighten up all the way. You know what I mean? Yeah, we all need to do that, you know, with these different groups and organizations. So, you know, it needs to go down in a real way. So, yeah, I like that.
So, basically, that is how much as I can give you with that information. I'm waiting on. Oh, wait. It's two more people. I'm sorry. It's a few more people on here. We got also Crystal Muhammad. She misuse of funds, threatening another brother coming in his home, provocateur towards comrades, slander, and assisting potential informants. She's on the white ball list too. Then we have Ali Muhammad. I'm pretty sure you heard of him. Abandonment of formation, slander, misuse of money, and information assault on women. Okay, misuse of information and money. I'm sorry. Assault on females as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, you know, far as I knew, you know, Chris Muhammad being a solid, you know, a solid person. You know what I mean? But I don't know about a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
and the people that it's not to knock any. I'm not knocking anybody's effort on trying to improve our movement or doing what you can. But if you did some dirtiness in between time too, you got to get called out for that.
I got you. Wow. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. So okay. Now that's good information. That's good for the people to know. You know, some of the people that's on the list, and like you said, you know, there could be more or on the list, or there could be some people taken off. You know, just due to investigation.
Yeah. Well, the next one. What's so disappointing about this list, brother, is like, man, you're a rapist? Man, you do drugs or you sell drugs in the movement to our other comrades? It's really embarrassing. It's like, this is not what we're about. I did not come into this movement to get exposed to things that I could do when I'm on the street. You know, you were supposed to leave all that behind once you joined the movement and make yourself a better person so you can better your family and your community. But some of these people that's on this list, you know, are like the pastors that be in our neighborhood that tell you all the good stuff, speak your language, but take your money and take advantage of you.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. You know, that's how a lot of this. I mean, it's a lot of scammers out there in general. You know, so a lot of people they talk a real good talk, then they end up taking people money or taking advantage of people. So that's unfortunately that's how it goes. Unfortunately, you know. So I feel like just
I do.
Go ahead.
Oh, I see. I was looking at the comments. I see. General Azriel Ebo wanted to come on. He's also a witness right now.
Okay.
Who can explain his experience?
You send him a link?
Yes, I saw him in the comments.
Okay.
I did send him the link.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay. I don't want to put the link in the comments just yet unless you need me to, you know, so then I have
because everything that I'm stating to you can be verified with the witnesses that is on the chat room.
I got you. All right. Yeah,
you understand?
I'll go ahead and post the link for the I don't know, you'll just have to let me know exactly. I'll read off a name and then I'll bring that person on if you agree with the name, because anybody can actually pop on. You know, I don't want to bring anybody.
Okay. My brother Azriel Lebeau. That's a French name in fact. Yeah, Azriel Lebeau. That's a general.
So
and he collaborated with Dimitri.
Yeah, I just posted the link. I'm just talking to the chat. I just posted, you know, so only the people that's supposed to be on the platform come on in. You know, just to be sure, if I see somebody that's not supposed to be there, I can easily hit a button and you'll be out of here. So yeah, it's not that easy to pop on this platform, you know. So, but yeah, I just put the link. Yeah, all you have to do, whoever's coming up, all you have to do is click on the link. It'll bring you right in. Of course, you'll have to be on a device that has a camera, audio, you know. Yeah. Yeah, you know.
We also have Akbar as a potential informant. Refuse to go by standard procedures as well. We have Dolomite Lightning for sexual misconduct, sending sexual videos to comrades. I mean, some of these people are just all out of order with this.
Yeah, that just I got somebody in the back. I guess it's a troll that this other person that's in here back here, but You don't got to worry about that. Peace, brother. What's going on?
Some black power. Give me like 2 seconds.
It's all good.
Hello, how you doing?
All good. All good. I'm going to mute you for now, so it won't be no background or anything. But yeah, I don't know who this other person is say free GMJ. That's in a So this person doesn't have a name. I'm assuming that you don't even know who I'm talking about, and they just exit out. So cool. All right. So
don't bring Demetria on here. She had 2 panels to explain her situation. You already said what you needed to say. This is my turn to talk now. Okay? So, Demetria, enjoy the platform of us talking about you, because you're going to be X'd out on the white ball list as well. So, no one's going to be checking for you anymore, along with the other freedom fighters that you're riding with, because we see you and we know what you're doing, and it's going to come to an end. You will be checked for that. Also, I had other comrades that was supposed to come on here right now too. I'm just still trying to read the comments to see. Our brother AJ supposed to come on here. So could you bring him on too? Brother AJ Frazier?
yeah. As soon as I see him, I'll bring him up. There's a boss lady, Jenna, is down here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to bring her up too, boss lady?
Yeah, top to bottom cleaners come on the panel too. Yeah, let them come on too.
No, I said boss lady Jenna.
Yeah, you could bring Janae on. Yeah, Janae on. Yeah, bring Janae on. That's my sister girl too. Right. She's also a witness of the tribunal.
Gotcha. She on, boss lady Janae. Yeah, she's up. And then let me see, waiting on AJ say top to bottom cleaners. Let me go ahead and pin that link, because the link probably got lost in the shuffle. Let's see.
All right. Piece of black power. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Mm-hmm. What's going on, my brother?
So let me explain my role. I was the Mid-Atlantic Regional Commander of the New Black Panther Party. You can hear me?
I hear you. Yep.
Okay, so what's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
So good. Yep.
I'm getting some crazy feedback.
Yeah, I don't know if you have too many windows up.
I might do. Let me close them real quick.
Yeah, if you got the YouTube up, go ahead and close out the YouTube.
Okay. So again, I was the regional Mid-Atlantic chairman for the whole Mid-Atlantic region of the New Black Panther Party. Charlotte, North Carolina was one of the chapters under my command at the time. So was DC and a few other spots in the Mid-Atlantic. Now, first of all, I'm going to speak about Brother Charles. And since my time as the Mid-Atlantic Regional Commander, some other things have come to light as well. But let me clarify some things for a moment. Charles, Jack, whatever you want to refer to him as, was never a local person in charge. He was never a local chairman, chief of staff, minister of defense, or field marshal. He was never a regional commander of the same ranks. He was never a regional chairman, chief of staff, minister of defense, or field marshal, and was never a national member within the New Black Panther Party. That's the first thing. The second part of that, and again, I'm going to go down the line here. Nothing in order. I'm just going down the line. So bear with me for a minute. So Charles has had a repeated history of repeated offenses during his time within the party. He's been known for drug dealing. He's known for his assault on women. He is also known and been charged with leaving not only another sister comrade, but a sister with an infant child in a strange, unknown city, basically saying that he abandoned someone on his post. Now, again, since some people can't remember or understand the fact because they want so bad to accuse me of the same thing. And I thought it was made clear. So again, let me make it even further clear. I have never abandoned not one individual ever on my post nor under my command. We had an incident in North Carolina where someone had been killed by law enforcement. So we showed up under approval of the family. We went to two events. The first event was at a park with the family and the community. The second part of that event was held at a church. It was kind of like a community thing. So when we got to the second part of that maneuver, some of my comrades got pulled over by law enforcement. And because I don't tolerate law enforcement, especially in the sense when you do not come correct, I don't tolerate them at all. We had an altercation, at which time after that altercation, we proceeded to go in the church and attend the function that they were having at that church at that time. Now, after that, those same cops that we got into an altercation with pulled me over. Now, let me talk about the traffic stop because they want to call it a routine traffic stop, but we both know what it was. The orders were, at the time, being 100% honest, because clarity and honesty above all things. I was riding dirty at the time, meaning I didn't have a license. I have no problem admitting that. But the orders were handed down to everybody on that maneuver that when I left the city, they were supposed to be right behind me so that there was no risk of me getting pulled over at the time. Somewhere during transport, the individual driving did not follow orders. I got pulled over. Hold on 1 minute. Okay, yeah, I got pulled over. So, because I don't tolerate law enforcement, when they came to my window, I handled that situation. Now, at the time I got pulled over, and it's all on Facebook Live, because anytime I get pulled over, it automatically goes to Facebook Live. So it's all in my videos on Facebook Live when I got stopped. So I handled that situation, handled it with no problem. And because I never knew that my comrades were behind me, I had no idea. So after that altercation where I got pulled over, I go on my way. I'm sitting here on the way home trying to call everyone on the highway. Well, right when I got pulled out the phone, started calling the comrades to make sure they were good. Nobody ever picked up. I even circled back around to see if I can find my comrades. And because I was in a city that I was not familiar with, I ended up getting lost. Again, it had nothing to do with leaving comrades behind, because the way I feel about it, when you are in command of a team, a regiment, whatever it may be that you are commanding, you are supposed to be the first one on the field and the last one to step off that field. That has always been my philosophy when it came to people under my command. So, again, let me continue with the story. So, I get detained. I handle the situation. I pull off. As soon as I pull off, I hit my phone, start hitting everybody up. Now, I cannot get in contact with not one individual. Finally, I go to Facebook Live and see them on Facebook Live. Keying and laughing and joking with law enforcement, because obviously when they had stopped, when I got pulled over, they were behind me. I never knew that they were behind me. The way the setup was, it was my vehicle, law enforcement, and then they were behind law enforcement. So again, I never knew that they were in fact behind me. I never knew until after the fact, when I saw them on Facebook Live, that they were going through the same situation that I had just been in. But yet, fast forwarded to the tribunal. Me and that sister, Demetria, sat there for a good 15, 20 minutes talking about this same situation. I explained myself, allowed her to say what she needed to say, and we were all good. Everything was squashed. Everything was taken care of. There was no animosity. There was no nothing. It was water under a bridge. So for her to jump on to Harker Bay months later and automatically say, well, I left her behind. Come on now. That is far from the truth. My sister, boss lady Janae, knows exactly what kind of general I am when it comes to my people. She knows for a fact. So, it is what it is. And as far as Charles goes, I have had numerous reports. In fact, it was because of the situation with Charles, Demetria, and a few others that because of their division, they split a chapter that had potential to really put it down in Charlotte, North Carolina, really be a focal point and power point for the new Black Panther Party. But because they cannot get their shit together, because they wanted to argue and fight and not follow proper protocol or proper chain of command, because ultimately, just like any military, the militia, the Black militia movement, and I don't care what group you're a part of, be it New Black Panther Party, be it Huey P., Fred Hampton, whatever formation that you are a part of, there is a military chain of command. And because they cannot follow chain of command and protocol and wanted to argue, fight, and be counterproductive, it split what could have been a powerful chapter within the new Black Panther Party.
Mm. No, that's interesting. That's interesting how people could switch the narrative once they get to another platform. I mean, what would be a reason why people like that or she was able to go to a platform? What would be the reason to take down or talk down on people? You know what I'm saying? To talk down on different members of these organizations. What would be a reason to even do that?
Well, for one, my brother, you have to understand what we do as revolutionaries. And even since the original party, most people get into these movements with ulterior motives. They don't come into the movement for what it is for. They come into the movement to hook up, they come into the movement to get money or to exploit money from members or money from the community, or as I like to call it, they come in to cosplay the movement because it's a fashion statement to them, and I'm sure you've seen it yourself when you were affiliated with the party. People just come to put on uniforms and pretty patches, but when it comes down to the work, they ain't doing nothing, or they put in the work just for the maneuver, and then when they get home, it's back to business. But a lot of people come into this movement for those reasons and because of a false sense of importance. They go after a rank or position or title, and not even being properly trained in those positions or titles, or not really caring um, what comes with it. They end up failing. And then the second someone tries to do the right thing and show the right way, all of a sudden they're the enemy. You see what I'm saying? Which is basically what I did when I joined the new Black Panther Party and I became regional commander. I mean, I poured my heart and soul into that thing, trying to make it right. And because I had no national backing, like talk about, because that was another issue with national constantly sabotaging regions they felt threatened by, and I'm only coming with fact. And it's nothing personal against anybody. Everything I say and everything I do is fact, and it's nothing personal and nothing to gain. I have nothing to gain but the truth here. But essentially, that it is in itself what it is. It's a place people come to play revolutionary until revolutionary shit needs to be done, and then it is what it is.
I agree. It's a lot of people that come in for the wrong reasons. Like I said on the last show, it's a lot of reactionaries. When something happens, then they will enter a group just based on their emotions at the time. When it comes to doing consistent work, then it's a no show. So, but yeah, that's definitely a thing. Now, hold on, let me bring my sister back in. Boom. I don't know. Maybe she having some problems. She been going in and out. Now I don't know who want to speak next as far as like their truth and what's been going on. Uh,
I'd like to
but
speak, OC, please, if that's okay.
yeah,
This is Janae. I was the former chairwoman of the Washington, D.C. chapter of the New Black Panther Party. I was also the assistant to the regional chairman, Azriel LeBeau, for the Mid Atlantic region. Everything Azriel said, I can coincide with because as his assistant, he and I both worked very hard and diligently to build up the Mid Atlantic region. We tried not just the Mid Atlantic region, but the brand New Black Panther Party. We put our hearts and our soul into this organization. I recruited all around the world, all around the country, uh, Panthers. That was our objective, was to remain Panthers and to build up the New Black Panther Party to not what it once was, but what it could be. Me and Asheville always focused on trying to make everything a family oriented, and trying to keep things, keep the smoke from rising too high, But we got a lot of attention, and like you said in the beginning, because we were doing our thing. We had a lot of things popping off in North Carolina, a lot of things popped off in the Mid Atlantic region that we had to address. Um, I wasn't there for the incident with them being pulled over on side of the road, but as his assistant, I had to interview everybody. Um, and I do have that report myself, which is confidential. What was going on in house in the Mid Atlantic region was supposed to be handled in house. But we got so many of these Facebook revolutionaries that want to get on here and cry wolf when they was guilty of doing things that was unbecoming of a Panther. Like Sister Aisha said, you know, if you're gonna be a Panther, be a Panther 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Change your life. I mean, we all have past. We all come from different backgrounds. You know, I ain't never sugarcoated my past. I was always upfront and transparent with people, and that's why my name is so tainted all over the movement because I tried to keep it real. I had these people in my house. I invited them into my home. I've sent them money. They've sent me money. We have tried to help each other, you know, and I don't have no regrets for being good to the people that I was good to. It's just these people that are creating all these problems right now, they're just bitter because now they don't have anything. Now that those of us that are real revolutionaries have stepped off, they don't have nothing to play on. You know what I'm saying? They're bringing up stuff that happened 2-3 years ago. They're bringing up stuff like we really need to be uniting and fighting and putting all the stuff behind us. But they drained the life out of the movement. You know what I'm saying? They make me not even want to be around people no more. You understand? Because we did the work. Ezra put me in the DC chapter boots on the ground. Malik put the DC chapter boots on the ground. Akbar stayed in the streets putting boots on the ground. We was everywhere, so we got a lot more attention than the rest of the regions did. You know, and that wasn't to show out. That was just to show up. We blacked that call. Can y'all hear me? And everybody done dropped out. Okay, and I don't know what's going on. I can't see nobody. I'm still on. What happened? Okay, I guess everybody dropped off.
I'm here, brother. I'm here. I was listening to everything that our comrades was saying at this moment. I think there's something in the signal didn't dropped or whatnot. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the signal dropped. Okay, I'm back. The signal dropped. Hello?
Got myself on mute. Yeah, we back.
Okay, yeah, the signal got crossed. Was I still
Okay.
talking or somebody else started talking?
Yeah, you were still talking. You were
Okay,
still
all
talking.
right. So,
I don't
I
know.
mean, Ezra, let me just say it's good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. I love you. To the rest of them in the comments, don't pay that no attention because we know who put in the real work. We know who really is about the revolution. You know what I'm saying? They can say whatever they want to say. They got personal. You know what I mean? I still, and to be honest with you, I still have a chapter here in Washington D.C., but we underground. We so far underground, you will never see another picture of us ever again in life because you cannot trust nobody. You can't trust people when they start getting recognized on the street and people start inboxing you and start wanting to be like you and wanting to do what you're doing. It's so many people all around the same people that's pointing fingers at me and Ezra was the same people that saw us doing the work on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, they saw us doing the real work and they wanted to be a part of the movement because of what they saw us doing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it's just so much aggravation. I was right there with Sheikh Imam Akbar. Let's start with that. If y'all want to get on my case, I don't know if I'm white balled or not. I don't even care at this point.
No, that wasn't
All I
you.
care about is
That
doing
wasn't you on
the
that
work
white
and the
ball list
people
though,
here
sister.
in
You was
Washington D.C. that need. Okay, I didn't hear it. That's why I said I didn't hear it. That's why I said I don't know. It's because everybody got my name in their mouth like I was the one making
No,
all the decisions. We was the ones trying to
no.
keep the peace. We was trying to keep them
Mm-hmm.
from bringing this mess, this Negro mess, into the Black Power movement. But yet and still, we the ones that got attacked, and we were the ones that they wanted gone. They wanted us gone and away from the movement because we were really making changes. We were really making a difference in our own community. You understand? So, can y'all hear me? Cause my phone messing up.
I can
We
hear
can
you.
hear you,
Okay.
sister. I can hear you.
Okay. You can hear me. Okay. Yeah. And I'm just, and like I said, I apologize to the Black Power movement, to those people that believe in me and they know that I'm a good person and I did everything I could. You know what I mean? I can't stop people from hating on me. I can't stop people from sleeping with each other. I can't stop any of that. All I could do was control what I could do. You understand? It's my fault for a lot of things that I let slip in the beginning because I was not properly trained. But once I got a manual, right, Brother Ezra, if it was not for Ezra, I would not even have a manual. They was charging
Fact.
$50 for a manual.
May
Okay,
I
Let,
may
let's
I
let,
say
get that
something
straight.
too about that?
And once I got
May I
my
say something
manual,
too?
go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
About the manual. It was a sister that was at the
Mm-hmm.
tribunal who just really entered the Panther Party, and she didn't get any manual, any rules, or anything. To this
right.
day, she still doesn't have anything to prove that she's part of the new Black Panther Party.
Clear.
Again, this is just a prototype of what some of our members go through who really wants to be involved in our community, and it's really genuine about it,
Exactly.
and it's not trying to cause any havoc. Yeah, go ahead.
Let
I'm
me
sorry.
further go
And
into say.
That's right.
Let me play on that for a minute. Here is the
okay.
Mm-hmm.
situation. When I became regional chairman, and I'll explain my process. When I first became a member of the new Black Panther Party, every maneuver I was boots on the ground. Every maneuver I was
That's
putting in
right.
that work, trying to
Mm-hmm.
elevate. And when I finally got my hands on a manual, what they wanted to push was, especially when it came to, you know, disciplinary actions, it was read that manual, read that manual, read that manual. But then they never counted on people actually reading that manual because when I finally got my copy, oh, I digested it, I broke it down, and that's how I became regional chairman is because I saw the ranking system. I saw the need. At the time, there was no regional leadership at all. All we had was a regional minister of information, and that was it. So when I joined, I was like, okay, if we have no regionals, that means those positions are open. My first move was regional minister of defense because I'm a defense man just by default. I went to that position.
I think you froze.
Yeah, he froze up.
Oh, okay. All right.
But could
Yeah.
we get
So, but
our
yeah.
Marquita top to bottom on the platform? She is also a witness of Brother Charles' behavior, and she's been waiting
Mm,
patiently to speak as well.
Yeah. She. Matter of
okay.
fact, she could on that. She's right there. Can
Okay,
you
yeah, I
hear?
see her.
Hi, how are you guys?
Peace, Queen.
Peace. Peace. Doing well.
Great. Well, everybody was talking about the tribunal, and I was definitely at the tribunal. I have received the reason my camera is off because I have
Mm-hmm.
received a lot of personal hate behind all of this stuff. So I just kind of wanted to keep my face out of it. But I saw the way Sister Aisha was done last time, so I felt like it was only right for me to come on and support and share my side. Of everything and how everything went. Now, I came seeking out the party for unity, family, all that kind of stuff, and what I found was a lot of heartache and things that I wasn't even aware of. I never knew that it was a manual. I never knew any of this when I was recruited. So when I went to tribunal, a lot of things happened. I was actually kicked out myself, so I really don't know where I stand or how any of this works because I was still new myself. And as far as Brother Charles, he's the one who recruited me. He recruited me and then courted me. I thought that we were in a relationship. I had no idea that it was a thing called no fraternizing. I didn't know that that was a rule. I had no idea of any of this because, as I said, I was new and I'm coming to join what I think is a family unity, looking for a comfort place amongst my people. So, what happened with Brother Charles is he basically took me on a trip saying that we were going to work because my big thing is my kids and taking care of my kids. So he told me he had a truck and we would go on this trip, whatever, whatever. Now, mind you, we had already been courting. We had already did grown folk activities and all this type of stuff. I wasn't aware that he was a drug addict, and I found this out on the trip. Make a long story short, I end up running across his stash of his own personal stuff, and he got upset with me. um I didn't want to sleep with him anymore after I saw the bag of whatever we got back. It was just a whole lot. Make a long story short, we went to the tribunal. It's a lot that I really don't want to put out there because everybody always makes it seem like I'm airing my dirty laundry, and it kind of hurt, you know what I mean? But make a long story short, we went to the tribunal, and Brother Charles he was found guilty on everything, from taking me out of town. Oh, and I would have got left too, but the only thing is I come from the hood. I'm not slow in any means. So when he jumped up and got his bags and got his keys, I knew for a fact I needed to jump up, get my bags, and be on the way behind him. I'm not crazy. You're not gonna leave me nowhere. No, I need to get home. So I followed him, had the worst trip ever on the way back. It's a lady by the name of Venus. I shared my whole experience with Venus. I thought that Venus had my back. She was supposed to be minister of information. I thought that I could trust her. She act like she didn't understand what was going on after everything. Basically, make a long story short, we went to tribunal. Charles was never supposed to be in any type of anything. After I laid all my facts down on the line, he was found to be never, not even a part. He needs to, what they say, basically X nay. He cannot be a part of anything. And I was actually kicked out. So they punished me for fraternizing, which I didn't know. I told them that then. I had no idea about the rule or any of that, but I was still punished, rightfully so, because I had no idea, but I was breaking rules nevertheless. So that's how the tribunal went. I haven't really spoken to anyone outside of Aisha since. I've spoken briefly with Brother AJ about supporting Aisha, but that's really just pretty much it. It's just been a lot, and I've really been lost about the whole thing.
Well, sister, as the former regional chairman, I had no idea that you had been punished for it. And let me just say, I humbly, from the bottom of my heart, apologized for anything and everything that you went through. I had no, like when you're a regional chairman and a regional commander, you have so much that you have to watch, and so much that is your personal responsibility. And I had no idea that you were punished because of the whole Charles situation. Had I known that, I mean, now that I understand that you would have to have some sort of counseling as we're supposed to do. And again, coming from the manual states that ultimately we're not here to just put people out or kick people out for no reason. There is a process, protocol, and procedures that we go through before we even think about putting a person out. Now, if you do something that's just downright a no-no, that's one thing. But For you to be punished, for you to be kicked out, again, that was not by my personal doing because at the time of the tribunal, I was still the regional commander. And again, I humbly apologize.
Well, I greatly
Okay, so
appreciate it.
while we're all on the panel, so go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just pretty much saying I don't really know where to go from here or how or what to do from here. It's so much more. I could dive so much more into Charles and the things that I saw and the things that I witnessed, but ultimately it seems as if I am also putting myself out there, which I really don't want to do because if you want to be honest,
You
I
need
know there is
protection.
a no. Yeah, I know there is a no fraternizing rule, but coming in, black love and black power, that seems like a dream come true. Like, so I really
Hmm.
don't know how to, you know what I mean, how to proceed from there, if that makes sense.
It does, sister, because you came into this movement misguided by imposture, basically. My recommendation to you, Sister Janae, you have multitudes of connection on how this sister can be involved with a legitimate black movement that are doing positive things for our community. Perhaps after this show, you can connect and help our sister into being with the right family that she belongs to, as well as also and where she's located at, try to have her protected because you know you're going to be coming after her.
Right, because they're coming after all of us. Just know that
Yeah.
you're not the only one that's been
Mm-hmm.
harassed, and I mean it's just childish. What you have to do is just rise above this drama, stand in your truth and in your peace. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of us good. That's what's so hurtful. It's some good people out here that have been done dirty and wrong. Young women that have been abused and used as leverage. They once you sleep with them, they can say, "Oh, nobody ain't gonna believe you." You know what I'm saying? They not
That's
your
exactly.
credibility is pretty much over with, and that's how you feel. So that's why as an older person and I don't consider myself an OG because I'm still learning. But I tried to mentor a lot of these young girls. Even the same ones that's nice to me right now. I tried to tell them, do not sleep around with these men. These men are married. They have wives. They have children. They just want to have fun on the weekend. They want to go gun training and hunting and all that good stuff like that. Leave them alone. Stand in your truth. Do not sleep around with the men in the Black Power movement. That's not what you're here for. You know? And I tell the men in my chapter, I said, you tell me what type of panther do you want to be? Do you want to be a daytime panther or do you want to be a nighttime panther? Can I call on you in the middle of the night if one of my sister's boyfriends beating on them? And can I send you out to do some work if I have to? I want to be that type of panther. If you want to do the food program, if you want to go on food runs and get out here and do picnics and things in the community, then be a daytime panther and stay away from nighttime activities. We have not learned shit from the original Black Panther Party with all the stuff that's going on right now. We've learned
Mm.
absolutely nothing. We are just creating more distractions, more dissension, and turning people off from the revolution. Period. And I didn't come on here to try to browbeat nobody or beat nobody down. I really want to fix this mess. I really want us to unify and build and grow to what we could possibly have been. But it's just you got to screen these people. You got to vet them. You have got to send them on some dummy missions. Sometimes you're gonna have to just sit. Your post is to just sit right here until we get done doing what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But people that have not been properly trained don't even understand that part.
The chain of
They
command.
want to get mad. That's right. No, they did not follow the chain of command. They did not follow instructions. Anytime I've been on a maneuver with anybody, I say, when I say those 12 general orders are in place, you don't talk to nobody. You don't leave your post until you are properly relieved. You don't go nowhere. You don't say nothing to nobody, and that's all you're supposed to do. And anything else you need to know will be as needed. It's carried down the chain of command. That's because I had a manual and I studied under the best and under the greatest revolutionaries that they are out here right now. Okay, my dad was an original Black Panther. That's the only reason why I got involved in this in the beginning is to carry on my father's legacy. My daddy was one of the founders of the Black Panther Party here in Washington D.C. A lot of women they look at me, oh, how did you get here? Who did you sleep with to get here? I didn't have to sleep with nobody, baby. I was birthed in the movement. Okay, let's get that right. I was birthed in the movement. Y'all can say what you want to. I'm not even looking at the comments no more because these people are beneath me. They came into our movement and they created all the distractions and the disruptions that they could possibly do. Brother Charles' first mission, and I'm gonna talk about this. The first time we sent him on a mission in Durham, North Carolina, he left a girl and her daughter on the side of the road. And you want to know why that affects me? Because I gave up my seat to ride back to Washington, D.C. so somebody else could take this girl and her baby home that was going to take me back to Washington, D.C. I had a ride home. I gave it up, had to stay overnight with the rest of the comrades that were leaving the next morning. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what revolutionaries do. We make sure if you come with us, you leave with us. You don't leave nobody behind and then call yourself a general and call yourself a leader in the Black community. You left a Black woman and a Black child behind. And that day, I told the general that was in order, because he's not on the panel, I said, we're going to regret the day we ever met this boy by forgiving him and not writing him up and putting him on blast right now. And Charles has been a problem ever since. He created so many problems. Like the girl said, the drugs. He created a problem with the drug habit in the Charlotte chapter. He created a lot of big problems between the state of North Carolina chairman. He created problems everywhere he went. You know what I'm saying? He was just a problematic. And I felt sorry for him. And I was like, I don't know. They saying you doing this stuff. I don't know what you're doing. I wasn't there. But I was there when you left that girl on the side of that road because it affected me. It took me 10 hours to get back to D.C. You understand what I'm saying? I'm that type of revolutionary. I gave up my seat. I gave up my spot to make sure that your person got back to safety. And we should have never let him get away with that.
Yeah, the reason I was willing to go to tribunal is because at the end of the day, I was afraid for my life. I definitely thought I was going to be harmed and hurt. So I don't understand how this is still somebody that I don't understand how it's still somebody that's still going around, especially when I heard them say that he was never supposed to be a part of anything or doing anything. Like, is this
nothing?
Is this
after that moment right there, he should have been banished from the Black Power movement.
Right.
And then you know what? I'm that big of a person. I will accept responsibility for that because me and Aaron we had to, and I didn't mean to mention his name. But we had a choice. We pulled him to the side and was like, brother, you can't do stuff like that. If you bring somebody on these missions with you, you're responsible for getting them back home. You put that girl's life in danger and you put that baby's life in danger. Even bringing them around us like that. Okay, and that was my first assignment as a assistant to the national chairman was that incident where the boy hung himself. We was going there to flag because the Gary Kimber they claimed he hung himself in a tree, but we found out otherwise. You know what I'm saying? We did our own investigation, and in 3 hours we found out it was 3 people under the tree with the boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have time for all this drama and backbiting and stuff like that, and all this ignorant stuff that's going on. I don't have time for it. I'm doing the work. Continuously doing the work here in Washington, D.C. With everybody turning their back on me, I still had to stand in my truth and be a Panther. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And Sister Janae, that is the point of the white ball list. Is based off your experience with Brother Charles as well. There are people that are coming into the movement with no good intentions of improving how we're living or anything. They just out for self. Mm-hmm. So again, we have brothers and sisters that look like us, speak like us, you know what I'm saying, speak the same language or whatnot, and will stab you in the back, will sell us out and throw us under the bus for their own benefit.
Honey,
So
that's it.
that was the purpose of the white ball list. Again, I wanted to not only get through to the militia group, but it needs to be, we still got brothers and sisters on the ground that's handling the politicians, telling them to cut our check. There are others that in entertainment that we need to check. How you gonna come and expect us to support you when you don't even support the Black community, and we are the backbone of why you're here. You understand?
That's right.
So again, the reason why I came on this panel, I wanted to expose the truth. Everyone's story was not being told correctly. No one was telling the whole truth about it. Even when Demetra said that she got pulled over from the last panel on Taharka Bay, what you refused to say is that y'all also had weed on you. You smelled like weed. So that's another reason why
they were smoking weed and Panther uniform. Let's tell the truth. And they had some dirty tags. Okay. And I got the whole report. And once I said, and I told them, that's right. I told them when I did the report, I said, and then I guess we open to talk about it now. I said, y'all know y'all broke the 12 general orders. We cannot support you. We can't help you when you're wrong. If you was right, we'll have your back 100%. But you should not have been smoking weed in Panther uniform and getting pulled and doing maneuvers. If you got the and what I was taught was, and I smoke weed and I drink and I smoke weed, but I was taught to leave my weed at home. And when you come back, that's when you smoke your weed. That's when you celebrate. When you make it back home. You don't go out on a maneuver high. You don't go out with drugs in your pocket and things like that. And they knew that going into North Carolina and the Danville and everywhere else that they had drugs on them. Okay, and then you can say it's drugs, it's just weed, whatever. It's just legal in D.C. We can smoke every day up here and walk around in front of the police and smoke. You know what I'm saying? I smoke because, yes, I do have lupus. And yes, I do use it for medicinal purposes. That's what for the record. Why people want to tell my business, you know. And I got some bills for y'all to pay. Since y'all want to be all in my business and mentioning my name and everything. Okay? You know what I mean? Like Ezra, they been lying on me and Ezra like we just started everything. And we tried to be peacekeepers. Ezra, how many times did you tell that was I gonna quit and you told me to just hold the line, Janae? Hold the line. Just wait a minute.
I would never
quit.
Look, we would spend on we would stay on the phone till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning talking about this stuff. And let me further clarify some things because I want it known. As a new Black Panther Party regional commander, which was my position again that I held during my time, I enforce, first of all, we're family before we're comrades. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's freedom or death all day, every day. Any of us that get into this movement, regardless of organization that we join, we already know what we're facing. We're facing white supremacy. We're facing law enforcement. We're facing COINTELPRO. We're facing provocateurs. We are facing agents. These are things that we already know that we are going to be faced with. We face death and we face losing our freedom. We face getting locked up. We all know this coming into the movement before we even put that uniform on. But let it be clear, we never, in uniform or in our daily lives, daily walk of lives, never leave another brother or sister. Don't even have to be a comrade. But we never leave another brother or sister behind, especially if they are comrades. Now, I want it understood beyond understanding, because one of the complaints that came up and kept on coming out, even after it was explained and over-explained, you left some comrades on the side of the road. That never happened. And then when we further broke it down, I thought that everybody came to that understanding, but apparently not. We never leave a comrade behind. Secondly,
Never.
during that time that Demetria claimed that she was left on the side of the road, to clarify that, I wanted understood that she, as well as several others, she's not the only one, that there seems to be a constant behavior of people who join and quit, join and quit, join and quit. Oh, I'm upset with Janae, so I'm gonna quit. Or I can't get my way with this individual or that individual, or somebody is coming down on me or harshly disciplining me, so I'm gonna quit.
Right.
So at the
Right.
time, right after that incident, Demetria quit. And that was not her first time quitting, mind you.
Nope.
So in this fashion, she can never say that she was left behind by another comrade, especially after you done quit 3 or 4 times. So I want
That's
that
right.
I want that understood to the max. You quit and then want to come back once you get an active warrant. Oh, I'm still a Panther. Where's all my Panther comrades at? Why is nobody standing next to me? No, girl, you quit. I mean, we're here for you, but keep in mind, you quit. So nobody actually left a comrade behind. And for those who sit there and join these organizations and then quit on some bullshit, or you see what I'm saying? How can we trust you as a comrade when all you do is quit? And then when it's
That's right.
convenient for you to come back. This uniform right here, this uniform don't come off. Once you put this uniform on, once you put that patch on, it's freedom or death 24/7.
That's
And you
right.
better be prepared for the consequences. Because you already
And
know. Just like that law enforcement officer, just like that policeman, every day he puts on that badge knowing that could be his last day. The same thing comes with this patch. Once you put this patch on, it's a 24/7 thing, and you know what comes with it.
Wow.
Azriel, brother, General, Azriel, I want you to explain that time that Brother Charles tried to have you and Brother Antonio L. talking about y'all was gonna kidnap somebody in Graham, North Carolina, a pig or something out there in North Carolina. There were the rumors.
Yeah.
I want you to explain the rumors that Charles then tried to have you and another comrade on.
First of all, so they had a situation that went down in Graham. They wanted to meet with us. Charles's little activist group, or whoever's little activist group, got in contact with us, wanted to have a sit down with us. So we obliged them. Graham law enforcement has a history of over abuse when it comes to its black citizens, over policing, racially profiling. You know, it's all the same everywhere. So anyway, we go down to sit with these brothers and sisters. The first issue is, and again, we all revolutionaries, we understand that we do not fraternize with the oppressor. We do not fraternize with the opposition. When we first got there and walked into the room, we walked into a room of almost where most of them were white folks. That was the first issue. Okay. We sat down, we had the meeting, things of this nature, and we left. Keep in mind that people do get emotional during meetings, and some things were said, but that was the extent of it. Anybody knows me knows how I feel about law enforcement, especially for those who subjugate and over abuse our people. So we was just, speaking out of anger and things of this nature. So we left. Now we had a couple of correspondents with that same group back and forth. Come to find out later, that one of the individuals was under Charles's command the whole time. And this individual, it was quite a few of them started going around telling people or spreading the word that we came down to Graham looking for a plug-in, that we went down to Graham, North Carolina looking for drugs, looking for weapons, and that we had made plans to kidnap a policy enforcer, which was, again, untrue. You know, a lot of people say shit in a group, you know what I'm saying? And that's the extent of it. But let me be clear. No real plans were made to kidnap or to bring harm to anyone. And it's funny that you bring that up, because that group of individuals down in Graham, North Carolina, wanted to put all their trust in white people. And see, my main thing was, you know, and I tried to get them to understand that if shit went south, these white people are not going to secure you, are not going to protect you. We will, however. And what happened to those same individuals? They had their little protest or whatever they had down there, and their little white security dude claimed that he was going to do their security, left them high and dry, left them to get arrested, left them to get abused or face whatever it was that they faced. Because as soon as, like I said, as soon as the shit hit the fan, the security backed out. But as far as kidnapping, come on, who does that? Who really? I mean, it's sad the lies that some of these people come up with.
Brother OC, I'm just explaining to you all of the rumors and stuff that was told to us, and I just wanted these brothers and sisters to explain their experience with these perpetrators that's within the movement. I believe I see you have Brother AJ on here as well to tell you about his experience as well with Brother Charles.
Yeah, absolutely. You there, AJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it brief. All I'm gonna say, man, is the slander is just insane. I understand a lot of these cats had their issues and all that, but when you got folk that don't even know you, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like Charles basically has all the people in his formation come on. I've seen each of them maybe 0 to 1 times in person. Never even had a real conversation with these cats. And they come on there and talk about me for hours on the show like we grew up together or something. Bro, people who grew up with me don't even go on shows and slander me, because I ain't never had no issues until I joined the movement and you had to deal with all this COINTELPRO. But it should be blatantly obvious when people are slandering. I'm going to give y'all some hints. So, for example, I'm going to tell y'all something. See, I never even watched none of them shows that Hawker did about me. Folks just told me certain things. You know, I originally told them, don't tell me. I don't want to know what these fools are saying. But eventually folks were like, no, we got to tell you some things because all the slander going on. Because a lot of folks are going in basically, you know, doing suits against these people for slander and all that. So they were telling me things like, oh, this girl Cece, who, mind you, I've seen in person once in my life at Tulsa, never even had a conversation with her. She going around on Mooresville TV saying that AJ is going around giving females in the freaking movement STDs. First of all, number one, I ain't got no STDs. Number two, here's how you know somebody's slandering you. Is Cece a doctor? And number two, is she my doctor? How the hell would she even know some shit like that? Number three, I've been married for over 20 years. I'm one of the cleanest people in the whole movement. I never even been convicted of a damn misdemeanor before. I'm a full-time truck driver. You know what I'm saying? So you got someone like that going around making rumors like that. Look, they all single. They all going around sleeping with everybody. I've been married for over 20 years. Everybody who know me know that shit. So it's certain clues when somebody comes on a show and starts slandering you where it should be blatantly obvious. Like you first got to ask yourself, how would they even know some shit like that? And if they saying some shit they couldn't even know, you know they're lying. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of stuff, man. I could go back and look at some of the stuff people wrote down and told me that they were saying. They were saying stuff like AJ charges $100 to $200 for his trainings. Everybody who in my formation knows I'll charge 10 to 15 if somebody don't bring their own ammo, because ammo is expensive these days. Other than that, it's free. I'm training these cats for free, which I don't have to. Some of these leaders really do charge hundreds of dollars for their trainings. I don't even charge for that shit. Now, if we're going to a school, we go to a lot of schools for certifications and stuff. Now, I have a skydiving license, scuba certification. I'm working on these other rescue certifications and all that. We got to pay the school directly. I always tell the people in my unit, don't even pay me. You have to pay the actual school directly, just like I'm paying the school directly for if you want to do these certification programs. But to me, the slander is just insane. Like, look, if you don't know me, and I'm talking about people like Dimitri and Cece, don't even say my name. Just be like, I don't know him. This is what Charles told me. Because everybody knows Charles is a pathological liar. So if you're going to say some shit, don't sit there and pretend like you know somebody you don't know. Like, I literally seen these people once each at a maneuver. Didn't even talk to me. These are all his people. But these people will make videos about me for hours, slandering me like they grew up with me. And notice nobody who grew up with me slanders me. I got the same name I was born with. I ain't got shit to hide. You know what I'm saying? I went and got I don't go around bragging about this, but I went to college, got a master's degree, a full-time employee. I've been taking all three of my kids live under my roof with my wife. I ain't got no baby mom, none of that shit. I did a straight and narrow path. I'm a full-time truck driver. You ain't never gonna hear about no damn full-time truck driver who's undercover for the damn feds and ain't even got a criminal record. Come on, man. You trying to expect me to believe that the FBI would pay someone like me to drive trucks full-time, 60 hours a week, while these cats don't even have jobs? They out there sleeping with everybody. These cats are like drug dealers and shit, and they trying to call me an agent when these cats got like 50 arrests, mile-long rap sheets, a bunch of felony convictions with no time. It don't take a rocket science to figure out who's who in it. Just look people up. I ain't got no problem when you looking at my record. I ain't got shit to hide. The only two things I've ever been charged with, I'll tell you right here, was one in 2003 was possession of a firearm. Oh, well, cry me a damn river. Everybody should be possessing firearms all the time, so I don't give a damn. And the other one was I don't want to say too much on the phone, but basically assault on police. But there's actual video footage that came out showing the police attacked me at a protest, so this shit was dropped. That's it. That's my entire rap sheet. You know what I'm saying? Look at these cats' rap sheets, bro. Like, a lot of these cats are convicted sex offenders, and God, they even admit the shit on TV and all this shit, and they coming at me on some agent shit. Bro, like, use your damn brains, man. This shit's common sense what's going on. And I can't even tell with a lot of people who slander me how many of them are getting paid or how many of them are just listening to everything their leaders tell them. But things should be common sense. If somebody don't know you, it should be a major red flag if they start saying shit like they do know you. But then everybody I grew up with, nobody has a problem. Nobody ever slandered me in my life till I joined the movement in 2016 and got introduced to COINTELPRO and how this shit works. So just be aware of that. You don't see me going on people's shows slandering them. I know I got real dirt on these cats. And see, the thing about me, I don't just say shit 'cause I don't like somebody. I'll pull people's court records when they mess with me and my unit like that. I'll pull folks' court records to see who they really are. So I got actual receipts on these cats. You know, video footage and everything. You ain't gonna see that shit on me. All you're gonna see is slander and people sitting there trying to act like the shit's true. They got folks sitting there talking about me who don't know me. Bro, if you don't know me, don't act like you do. Because otherwise I'm gonna find out who you are and expose you too. They just play. This shit is just common sense, bro. Like, it don't take a rocket science to see what's going on here. And everybody in the movement done shut all these cats out because they see what's going on. But then they got that one show they go on, Morse World TV, which is like basically the show where all the people go who are either like sex offenders or proven rats, and they go there to slander all the real ones, because that's how counterintelligence works. The way counterintelligence works, everybody who served in the military, like I have, by the way, I had an honorable discharge in the Marines. You could ask Hosea the Great and even to Hawker himself, who I sent my DD-214 to back then, when these people were slandering me to prove they were slandering me. You know, because they're sitting there trying to say, oh, AJ had a dishonorable discharge. Everybody, I mean, I got hundreds of friends of mine who are Facebook friends right there on my page who served in the Marines with me. Who knows that? Which I had a good conduct medal and all that, honorable discharge and everything. So when you just look and you can see who's slandering who. And it's just really sad, man, that some folks fall for that. But again, you learn this in the military. That's how counterintelligence works. The way counterintelligence works, they say counterintelligence agents are a lot more effective and efficient than intelligence agents. The reason is all you need is a couple counterintelligence agents to infiltrate a community, and they'll go in there and they'll trick everybody into thinking that their heroes are their enemies and their enemies are their heroes. And that's how counterintelligence works. And that misinformation is very dangerous. But everybody knew I was going to be attacked crazily by COINTELPRO after the shit we did in Brunswick. So all you got to do is sit back and wait to see who the agents were who were going to do that shit. That's one of the biggest signs of agents is when it comes to that slander stuff. So just be aware of that shit, you know, and pay attention to what's going on, because all you gotta do these days is look people up, look up the definition of COINTELPRO, and you're gonna know who's who. Again, you ain't even gotta have a brain to see that. But that's all I want to say about that. Anybody can look that shit up because it's receipts everywhere.
Nah, for real. I mean, you threw out a gem as far as everybody that go on that one particular platform. Everybody that's talked about in a bad way, they are actually putting in work. You know, And then, like you said, the other people that's been mentioned, like the Charles out there, the pretty much the freedom fighters. I believe I saw them on the platform and getting it bigged up, like they are actually doing work. It's just like you said, the things are being flipped around. You know, the good guys or the bad guys or the good guys type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
the only people they'll praise on that show are people you'll never actually see doing work. Just people who will just use their mouthpiece and be like, "Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." Look, here's my thing. I don't want to sound like an a-hole, but I'm gonna be honest. This ain't the 60s. Everybody got cell phone cameras these days. If you're doing work like that, somebody's finna see it, even if you ain't recording it. If you look at like nearly all the videos on my cover video for Past Talk and all the rescues we've been doing, you know, we've been recording rescues since 2017, Hurricane Harvey. And if you look at all the rescues we've been doing, most of those videos, they didn't even come from us. Because like usually when we out there doing hurricane rescue, our phones would flood. We didn't even have no video. The videos came from like news reporters and other people who saw the work we were doing and recorded it. And then we find it online and post it. That's when the video's coming from. So I don't believe nobody who claims they're out there doing all this work, but nobody ever sees it. And they just try to say, oh, I just don't post nothing, this and that, because that's how they try to promote stuff on that channel is, oh, we just promoting the people who don't post nothing they do. Okay, well, sorry, bro, but this is the age of cell phone cameras. If nobody ever sees nothing you do, I don't believe this shit. I'm sorry, I done too much to fall for that shit. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be upfront with it.
Oh, for real.
Like a computer assassin ninjas or something. Well, if that's really the case, then why the hell is George Zimmerman still breathing? Like, don't fake the front. Just be honest about who you really are.
No, for real.
Right.
For real. You know. And if somebody been putting in work since 2014, you will see something by 2022. You know what I mean? So these brothers and sisters I have never seen them. You know what I'm saying? All the times I've been outside, those faces there do not look familiar at all. You know, but everybody else that's actually putting in work, faces look familiar. It's just interesting. I thought they was literally like fake Panthers when I see them on that platform. I was like, who is this? Where do they get these people from? You know what I mean? So, and I'm up here asking people like, who is this? And they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, be wary of those who spend a lot more time creating chaos than actually putting in work. Like you'll rarely see people like me do an interview or even speak on something like this unless it just gets completely out of hand, because it's just been going on for far too long now. And it's like, bro, I've been sitting back ignoring this shit for how long? Like a year with all this slander, nonstop slander, bro. Like, look at all the time I done put my life on the line for the people. And I ain't just saying that. You could see this shit on video. You can't fake that shit. People sit there saying, oh, they sitting on that show saying, oh, do you think AJ's real? Hey, how about this, Tahaka? Why don't you go jump out of a plane with me and see how that shit works out for you? How about that shit? I'd fucking die. I would pay to see that shit. I would pay that. Your ass wouldn't even survive before you even hit the ground. You'd already be gone. So I'm just saying, bro, like these cats are so fake, man. The whole way this shit works, they take the fake and they make them look real, and they take the real and try to make them look fake. And that's why people outside the movement who don't know nobody, that's why it's dangerous. They'll fall for that. But everybody in the movement, they already know who. That's why nobody rocks with these cats. You know, and folks just gotta open their eyes and use their damn brains and stop falling for every damn thing they hear, because it's insane how somebody could be seen, and people like us on here could be seen as heroes for all the shit we do. And as soon as COINTELPRO jumps around, they'll try to villainize us, and our people are so gullible, they fall for this shit. They wonder why our people are in the predicament they are in today, because they just fall for everything. And it's just those of us who are ex-military got that type of training, we just sit back and watch and be like, damn, bro, like this, I can't work with y'all, man, because gullible people are dangerous, man. A gullible person will stab you in the back just because some conspiracy theorists told them some bullshit.
Yeah. And then, you know, how you go from I don't record anything or anything that I do for the community, but all of a sudden you end up on that platform. You know,
yeah, exactly. You expect us to believe you don't record none of the crazy stuff you do, but you constantly going on like YouTube to talk mess about people and all this shit, and we supposed to fall for that? Come on, man. Like, really? Like these cats that be going on live all the time, Facebook Live and all that, talking mess about everybody, talking about how great they are. But then they'll try to criticize us if we post a rescue we do. First of all, I've been doing rescue for over 20 years. You know, I joined the Marines way back in early 2000. I'll tell you right now, you know, I've been in that shit since I was 17. And I'll tell you right now, the way rescue units work, they show some of the rescues you do, because how you think they get donations and how they think they get recruits. Every legitimate rescue unit, I'm a member of several rescue units, they all do that. So anybody who claim that and claim they know what rescue is and talk about stuff like that, bro, ain't no rescue unit gonna take your rescue unit serious if nobody can ever see anything you do, because they know how many keyboard warriors are out there. If we don't see nothing you're doing and you're just talking about, we ain't gonna believe you. And again, if you're trying to talk like you some secret assassin, secret ninja assassin, nothing you post online, nobody ever sees it. Okay, well then if George Zimmerman and all of them are still breathing, I don't believe you, bro. Because if you were some secret, like top secret assassin ninja that don't never put nothing online or nut, them cats wouldn't be breathing. So just stop faking the front. I don't fake the front like that. That's why you ain't gotta worry about me trying to be questioning on shit like that. I just do training and rescue. But I ain't gonna sit there and pretend to be something I ain't. That's just stupid.
Yeah. And let me tell you something real quick, AJ, because I like to say you A1 with the paperwork and having the receipts. You know what I mean? Because before you give me anybody else receipts, you gave me your receipts. You know what I'm saying? You give me your whole background first before you give me anybody else background. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just think that's real for someone to do. You know, it's like before I tell you about these people, let me tell you about myself first. You know, just so you know, we can connect the dots and see who's really real, who got what on their background. You know, for anybody.
Yeah, because I know. My bad. I know how hard COINTELPRO targets me. When you're a COINTELPRO target, you know it. I said the same stuff to Hawker when I first went on the show, and he sat there and played dumb and acted like he didn't see all the stuff. He just sat there and went along with it while they were sitting there saying, "Oh, AJ, this one with this charge." When he saw my DD 214, "Oh, AJ, you know, he ain't got no skydiving scuba certification." He saw my skydiving life scuba certification. It's just insane. Like I just can't get over the way these cats operate, bro. Like, do you really think those cats just screenshot the shit they sent you and show to the world that you slandering them, and then destroy the credibility of your own show? Bro, if I had a show, I'd be very careful about what I said, you know, especially when people had evidence, I already had the info, because I'd be damned if I was seen as a slanderer to everybody. You can get sued for shit like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I don't know how he's still surviving, you know, because even YouTube itself, they have their own rules that you're not supposed to slander people, but yet people like that still exist. So I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. I mean, it's very interesting. But yeah, salute to y'all for, you know, bringing out the truth. Like I say, it's always other sides to stories, and then there's the absolute truth. So, I mean, it's up to the people at the end of the day who they want to believe, you know, stuff like that. But at the same time, when it's certain receipts are undeniable, you know what I mean? Especially if you got people, person after person, or people after people that actually come up and say the exact same thing about one or two particular people, you know what I mean? So, you know, I just think it's something that we all should pay attention to when it comes to these movements. COINTELPRO is a real thing. You know what I mean? I like to call it COINTELPRO 2.0, because now we are in a digital age, so it's very easy to infiltrate if we're not really paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So
another thing I think I have to bring up, and I already sent OC and others the receipts on these, just so everybody can clarify, because this is a rumor. I just basically been ignoring it because I didn't really care, but it affected me recently with this slander going on. So everybody's curious about how the NFAC got created. Now I'm just gonna say how it happened, you know, just so y'all know. So, you know, my soldiers through PANTHOC, we created PANTHOC back in 2016 while I was in Crystals formation, and the reason we created it was we wanted like a separate division. It wasn't a formation yet. We didn't become a formation until October 2019, when I left the New Black Panther Party altogether. But we wanted in the NBPP back in 2016, we wanted a separate division that would focus solely on rescue, because that's where my skill sets were, and that's why I love doing it and all that. So we started that, and it started off just an Atlanta chapter, and then it grew to Rome, and then eventually we recruited a Charlotte chapter. I think May, just before we did the Brunswick maneuver. But here's how the whole NFAC thing happened. So in May 2020, we saw the video footage of when those animals hunted down and murdered, when those animals hunted down and murdered Ahmaud Arbery. Now, so basically what happened was my comrades, a couple comrades I've been working with for years, it was Brother City and Sister Shore. I'm intentionally not saying full names because I know all the slander out there, this and that, but they had contacted me. We spoke and we decided, you know what, man, we're gonna get the troops together and we're gonna go handle this, because we know if all the people talking online, ain't nobody finna do shit unless we do. So we went and we got a we went and decided to all go down there. So here's what happened. So when we went out down there, it was several different caravans. So I went out there with I was with Dre, Caleb, I was with Cedric, this and that, and then our Charlotte chapter met us out there, which was a brand new chapter. That's back when Charles and them were with us, and we invited them there too. And then some other Atlanta comrades met us out there. Now, when the Atlanta comrades met us out there, they had this dude with them who was the only person there I didn't know, who he was going by Jay at the time. So he was the only person there I didn't know and all that. So anyway, we went out there and did our thing. You know, I had to remind him that I ran that unit because I don't know who he was, but everybody else, they were all my soldiers and all that. So I told him, if you want to come with us, fine, but you're going to fall in line, this and that. So we went and did our thing, you know, and then afterwards, I think a few days later or something, the next day, I noticed that shit was going viral. I didn't think it would go viral because we've done way crazier stuff than we did in Brunswick. If you look back at some of the stuff we've done, Pansock and Azrael been with me, Janae been with me, this and that. If you look back at something, man, you could ask them right here. We've surrounded FBI buildings, we've surrounded police buildings. We've done stuff way worse than we did in Brunswick. It just never went viral. You know, so a couple days later, or at least a day later, I noticed the shit was going viral, this and that. So I was like, okay, let me go and make a logo and shit, so nobody tries to steal like what we're doing and all that. Cause we see something building, we're getting a lot of recruits here. So I created a logo with that picture that went viral. And the reason that picture went viral of me and Grandmaster Jay was because when the police came, we were the ones up front when they came. You know what I'm saying? We were the ones like holding the rifles up front. A lot of folks were behind us and all that. So what happened was there was a photographer out there. And the reason the photographer was out there was because there was a visual going on that same weekend, at that exact same time, for Ahmaud Arbery. So there were other activists there at the house where the killers lived and all that stuff. And there was a photographer there taking pictures. But the photographer noticed something going on when he saw us grab all our rifles and he saw the police coming. So that picture that went viral was right when the police arrived. And I was actually impressed with GMJ because usually I'm used to stepping up in front of my soldiers alone because the way the Marines trained me was a leader leads in the front, the leader takes the first bullets. So I stepped up front, but then I noticed he stepped up right next to me. You know, and I was like, okay, this dude got some courage, this and that. So anyway, so the shit was all over. And like a day or two later, it's actually funny because some cats that I grew up with back in Cali, you know, they were asking some stuff like, hey, was that really Panthers out there that did that thing in Brunswick, this and that? And these are cats I grew up with. And then one of them said, nah, this is who they were. And he posted Instagram links called NFAC. And I put a little laughing emoji. I was like, what the hell is NFAC, this and that? Yeah, I didn't even know what that was. I was like, nah, bro, this is who we were. And I posted the link to our page, to our Pansock page. But then all of a sudden I started seeing all the stuff pop up everywhere with NFAC and all my soldiers' pictures were on it. So that's how, and that's when they created it. So that's how NFAC got created. It got created from that Brunswick maneuver. But we didn't even know until like a couple days later that it was going to be created. And I can't knock the brother for that. He was there too. So, you know, my thing is if you there, you know, if you whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do. But it's not like some thing like what Tahaka Bay, one of the conspiracy theories, him and what's her name, the freedom fighters trying to push. Oh, AJ plotted with GMJ to create NFAC. Look, man, you could go through my phone records. You can go through GMJ's phone records. We ain't never communicated or had a phone call or text or email or nothing before Brunswick. I never even heard of GMJ or NFAC before Brunswick. They didn't exist before Brunswick. NFAC got created from the Brunswick maneuver. Their first maneuver was in 4th of July in Stone Mountain. We weren't even at that maneuver. The first maneuver I went to their last two maneuvers to see what was going on and to try to show support because I saw they basically built this army off of our unit, what our unit did. So I went to their second Louisville maneuver and their Lafayette maneuver, their last two parades. And you could ask anybody there who was with NFAC that knows that. But I'm just tired of all the slander and lies because these cats ain't got no paperwork on me. They ain't got no real dirt on me. So what they do, they create conspiracy theories. And that's exactly how COINTELPRO works. Meanwhile, we got paperwork on these cats. These cats got like 40, 50 arrests, convicted of sex crimes, all this crazy shit, robbing and abusing women and children and all that stuff. And they stay free, bro. Like they'll get convicted of felonies, and then while they on parole, they get convicted of more felonies, do no time, bro. Like folk gotta open their damn eyes and see what the hell's going on. I shouldn't even have to get on this platform and explain this shit. That's common sense. You know what I'm saying? But I do.
Right. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. I don't know why it's so much slander.
My bad. Last thing on that, and I have evidence of this. And again, I sent it to OC and others. There's audio recordings because I had asked, you know, Shar and City how they even met GMJ, and they told me what happened. One of Shar's friends, you know, and I sent you the text too. One of Shar's friends texted GMJ, you know, before they had met us in Brunswick, and she had said, hey, this guy named GMJ wants to ride with you guys down there to Brunswick, this and that. So she said, okay, but I don't know who he is, so he could follow us in his car, this and that. So that's how they met him. He followed them to our maneuver, and then I met him at the maneuver. Now I ain't saying nothing bad about GMJ. I'm just telling y'all that's how we met. So all these rumors that they're trying to spread about, like, first of all, everybody who knows me knows I never invite other formations to my maneuvers, even when it's just me. Even if I have to go alone, it's unit integrity. I never invite other formations to my maneuvers. Rarely even do I even invite people over to my trainings. Everybody who knows me knows that. So why the hell would I invite somebody else to one of my maneuvers to take credit for some shit we were gonna do? I mean, it's just like, again, when you're wondering who's lying and who's not, all you gotta do is pay attention and open your damn eyes, and you'll see what the hell makes sense and what don't. Like, stop believing all the conspiracy theories that ain't got no damn evidence. It's just beyond me, because I even got kicked out recently from one of the rescue units I'm part of that focused on overseas slave rescue unit, all because of all this damn slander. That's why I finally said, F it. You know what? I'm gonna go and actually contact people and get the evidence and show the world what's really going on. Obviously, I can't ignore this shit no more if this slander's going that damn far. I didn't really give a damn about the stuff people were saying about me behind the scenes, because I was like, I'm a former Marine. I was Marine Corps infantry. I'm a combat veteran, bro. I ain't worried about what some civilians who I don't know talk about me from behind. But once it starts affecting my rescue work, then it becomes a problem.
Right. Absolutely, man. That's crazy. Well, it's crazy, but
and see another.
Go ahead, sis. Yeah.
That's AJ just brought up another point. Another reason for all this slander that's going on with this brother who's doing obviously positive things in our community. They want to expose him to being some criminal and being heroic or whatnot, like he mentioned before. And the purpose of this white ball list is to let every organization within the Black movement, either it be a militia or whatnot, be aware of these type of people who's into COINTELPRO. So I will land my plane on that one. So you have the floor, OC.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, I didn't know that's how it basically Nfac or GMJ started, but then all the slander that's going around, and I feel like it's been going around for a while. I'm glad, sister, that you thought of something to tighten everything up when it comes to like you say, the white ball. But also the other things to tighten it up in general, you know what I mean? So we can stop the slander. We can know exactly who they say they are, and who's not who they say they are. You know what I mean? So a lot of this stuff could just, move forward in the right way. You know what I mean? As far as these organizations, so yeah. So that's what I feel like this broadcast is about, just to tighten things up, but also spread our truth at the exact same time. You know what I mean? So yeah. So what is the what is the goal for if I could say the white ball list? Like, after people actually end up on this list, what should the people do after? Is it just like, hey, don't mess with these people, or something else like in particular should happen? Because I don't know if Charles, for example, is still going to have a group or other groups to bring people into his organization or whatever. But like, what are other things that should happen, after we find out that these people should not be messed with?
I'm glad you mentioned that. A thing that we have to do within each organization is network. Once we get our website and everything up and running, we will be able to have this white ball list that any organization with the Black movement could look in and see these people with these charges and know not to deal with them in that manner. As far as the other Black militia groups, who want to punish those people who are perpetrating our movement, I'm going to say that should be within their chapter of the consequences. But overall, according to the rules, depending on the charges, it can lead to death. But we're not trying to kill nobody. We just don't want to mess with you.
like as I mentioned, the white ball list is going to be with the militia group first, because we need security, especially us being like we need security all around us. And if they are infiltrated just like the system is, then there is no way we can move forward. So we're going to have to get rid of all the bad apples that's in the bunch first, and then we can move forward on to being aware of who can come into our organization or not. As I mentioned before, last year, we're going to call that tribunal a pre-trial. It wasn't set up correctly, the traditional way of how things should have been ran. There wasn't any follow-up with other plans that came along with the tribunal. So now I'm with a team that is putting our think tanks together and coming up with not only the codes, but the white ball list and the bylaws that we all can go through, go and obey, and be on one accord with.
Indeed. Okay. That's beautiful. That's great to know, for the people. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody else, because I gotta bring this to a close. I think we pretty much got the main point of what's going on, and if we have to do a part two, because I feel like this other stuff that's going to come out, especially with this broadcast, then we could definitely do a part two and bring actual receipts, because I feel like this is an intro. We haven't even brought up any receipts, because so you send me so many receipts. And AJ sent me so many receipts. You know what I mean? We can get into that on a whole nother show. But depending on what happens after this, because I think y'all know that there's going to be other shows after this, then we can definitely get it in. You know what I'm saying? So, but any last words? Anybody on this platform and panel there?
Well, I would like to thank you, OC the Great. You go ahead.
No, my bad. I was saying the same thing.
Okay, I
want to thank OC the Great and everybody else came on the panel. Because cats have been getting away with stuff for far too long. It's been far too much slander going on by the fake ones slandering the real ones. And the reason they take advantage of that is because they know the real ones. We don't like to go up there on YouTube and talk about the stuff we're doing and all that. We want to just focus on the work. But it's gotten so out of hand. We're like, forget it, man. Whatever. These cats got to get exposed. They clearly want to be famous. Well, they'll at least be infamous. they keep doing this stuff they're doing. Like you wanted attention. You wanted to poke the bear. Well, you finally did. So we exposed them and get back to work, because this is just insane, man. Like we got some very dangerous rescue training coming up in my unit, man. And I got to stop my focus from all that. I'm talking about like Swiftwater rescue and all that stuff. And like class 3 rivers and all that stuff we gotta do for certifications. Right? We gotta stop everything we're doing to deal with these cats, man, because it just never ends. Like, what the hell is wrong with them, bro? Like, just, dude, you were in my unit for 14 months. My unit's been around for 6 years. Get over it. Move on and focus on your unit. Stop obsessing over Pansoc. It's just insane. You got females in your unit obsessing over my unit who's never even been in Pansoc before. Demetrius never even been in Pansoc before. Bro, like, just get over it. And another thing I heard Tahaka saying, oh, every Panther unit is under the new Black Panther Party. First of all, Pansoc, we're not even a Panther unit anymore. We're just a rescue unit now. That's why we changed our name to just Pansoc. All we do is rescue and training now. I understand I have some activists in my unit, this and that, but our focus is just training. But first of all, anybody in the movement knows that's full of crap, because the reason there are multiple Panther units is because people want different leaders and all that. They want to do their own thing. So trying to pull this crap about every unit's under the NBPP just so he could try to use any dirt he claims he has on them to attack everybody else, bro, that's exactly how counterintelligence works. Like, sometimes you gotta just open your eyes, man. It really ain't hard to see what's going on. Go look up the definition of COINTELPRO, and you'll see exactly what's going on these days and who's doing what.
Right. Indeed. Hey, go ahead, sis. Our brother, I'm not sure what happened with sis.
Black Power.
Okay, go ahead, Black Power.
Go ahead, sis.
Well, also again, I would like to thank you for coming on your panel and explaining my truth to power. The reason why I did this is because our brothers and sisters that's really putting in this work need to be need their voice heard. All of the victims of the movement, they need their voices heard, so we know how to deal with it and take all the perpetrators out of our movement finally, for the last time, so it'll be easier on our future who wants to follow in our footsteps and be revolutionaries too. So I'm doing this for our people, but most definitely I'm doing this for our future.
Absolutely. It's definitely all about the future. Last but not least, go ahead, my brother.
Well, Brother OC, this is a first for me, and let me say it's truly been an honor and a pleasure. You have a permanent subscriber to your channel, brother. Just by this first introduction, I love what you do, brother. Continue to do what you do, man. My final thoughts would be, of course, the thing that I love the most, the people. Stay away from these COINTELPRO, these agent provocateurs. Do research on if you have a situation, do research and see who it is you're coming to ask for help. Mm-hmm. Also, for those generals or those would-be leaders of future organizations, really vet these individuals that are coming into your organization. That's foremost the important thing, because in this revolution, everything that we face or may face, it should always be quality over quantity. You can have 100 soldiers with you, but if none of them are worth nothing, you better off by yourself. That's the first thing. The second thing is stay away from these shows like Taharka Bay. I refer to Taharka Bay as the TMC / the National Enquirer of this community. Again, counterintelligence. He's only out for himself, not the people, to elevate himself and his platform. All he wants to do is take half-ass truths or little bits of pieces of shit that seems sensational and run with it. So if you're gonna be that type of, I guess the correct word would be reporter, stay away from the black movement. Though what he is trying to do should be done. I'm not saying some people don't need to be exposed and be outed, but do your full research, know the whole story, and then when people come with receipts, just because it's not what you prescribe to and want to coincide or co-sign to, just leave it alone. Because ultimately, you're doing more damage than you are good. And that's something our black community needs to recognize as a whole, is we always put the wrong person out there to sensationalize stuff. We put the wrong people out there as leaders. We put the wrong people in the wrong positions. So just be focused and be mindful of what it is you're prescribing, especially like his show, who only seems to want to see one-sided and the sensational side of it, and most of that is assumption at best.
Yeah.
When it comes to this revolution, anybody who is true to this and has been in this knows we already have too much to worry about. We already have too much work to do than worrying about the comrade beside us or behind us or the person that we're following. So be mindful of those things when you come into this movement, and be mindful of the things you prescribe to when you watch shows like Taharka Gay and these other shows. Those are my final thoughts. Peace and
Oh
bless
yeah,
Papa
my bad.
Doc.
One other thing I want to mention, based on what he said, something very important, General Adriel. You know, one thing you have to remember too when you do background checks on people, if you see something like assault, sometimes on the background check, the feds will just show it as assault to hide things from you as far as the infiltrators. But what you could do, if you go and pull the actual court documents, that assault might be like a child molestation or a rape. So sometimes when you see things like assault, you know, especially felony assault, you might want to actually go to that courthouse and pull the court documents and get more detail. I know it's a long, tenuous process, but if you don't, that shit can, trust me, come back and bite you in the ass. I'll say that right now.
Yeah. And to add on to that, before I became a Panther, I was vetted for like 90 days. You know what I'm saying? So not only I was vetted for 90 days, they also wanted to see my work ethic. They wanted to see if I was really about that. They wanted to see how loyal I truly was. You know what I'm saying? So in the midst of me being vetted, and this before I even put on a uniform, I couldn't even put on a uniform until after I was vetted for 90 days and become an actual Panther. No, so this is the new Black Panther Party that was out in Seattle, Tacoma. You know what I mean? So after the 90 days, after they felt my work ethic and loyalty, you know, I was able to come to the meetings and read the manual and do so many things. That's when I was able to wear a uniform. Then I had to wait a little more time to even get a patch. You know what I'm saying? So it was different type of vetting. You know what I mean? So I feel like we definitely need to take that serious. You know, before we just pull anybody into our organizations. You know what I mean? But I yield with that. And Boss Talk, Janae, go ahead, my sister. There you go.
It is not boss talk, it's boss lady.
My bad.
Okay.
Boss lady.
Yeah, so that's my motorcycle club name. That was also the platform that I had before I even joined the new Black Panther Party. I actually joined in 2018, as while I was doing my podcast for Boss Lady, Boss Up Radio. So that's how I got. They had the 10,000 Black Men's Convention in Washington D.C. and I was actually covering it the whole week of the events, and that was when I first met Hashim. It was when I first met Malik. I first met Akbar on the streets here in Washington D.C. I mean, and I know it's so much controversy going on, y'all, and again, I apologize to a lot of people who saw me on that show and felt like I shouldn't have done it, or I shouldn't have been there, or I shouldn't have said this or said that. I do apologize for the role that I played and the way that I acted that was unbecoming of a leader in the community. You know what I'm saying? And people say you don't owe nobody no apology. Yes, I do. Because you can't put that uniform on and be the same person that you are when you're in your street clothes. You put that uniform on and you change. And you have dignity and integrity that needs to be intact while you are a Panther. Okay? When you put on your street clothes, you still need to remember that you're a leader in the community and that people are watching you and there are people that want to work with you and that want to, because we are Panthers and we are carrying on the legacy of the original Panther Party. You understand? But it's up to us individually to make that, saying that into the hearts and the minds of the people. Our mission is to capture the hearts and the minds of the people, and that's it. We don't have to go out here and scream Black Power and do nothing like that, but we need to be doing Black Power. We need to be using our Black Power. We need to be active in our community, knocking on doors and supporting the people around us in the community. And no, you don't have to post everything you do on Facebook. I don't do it no more. I did it in the beginning to gain recognition. Like, look, if I can do this and I'm living how I'm living, I don't have no job. I'm doing the least that I could do for my community, though. You understand? Like, that's why we went so hard. I don't owe nobody nothing. I don't owe nobody a thing, but I know I owe God everything. I owe the Most High my heart, my soul, my life. I almost died in a motorcycle accident. You understand? I lost both of my brothers to this war out here on the street. I lost my mother and my father while serving as a Panther. You understand what I'm saying? But I still continue to hold the line and still continue to fight against the slander. AJ is a good person, and I'm just putting him in there right now. He's never been nothing but good and a gentleman to me. Every mission we've been on, I ain't never seen all this riff-raff and drama that they said that was going on. Never had them experiences with these people like that. So everybody's
Yeah,
gonna
Danny,
give
you
their
know
own
me way
take.
longer. You know me
Yeah,
way longer than them have. Way longer than
that's
Charles
right.
and
And
them.
again, that's
Same thing with
right.
Ashley.
I had to stay in the hotel with them, did I not? As AJ, I had to sleep on the floor in the hotel with them because Charles left that girl in the car. I mean, and
Oh
that
yeah,
girl and Aaron had to
with
take
her
the girl
baby.
back
Oh yeah,
to
they were
Charlotte.
mad about
You
that.
remember he left that girl and her baby.
Yeah,
He threw
they
the
were mad.
girl out the car with her car seat and her
Mm.
bottle, threw the baby bottle out the window and pulled off. Okay, now he did that. I can say he did that, and I witnessed that. And things weren't handled properly after that either. That was your first mission. You should not have brought civilians with you on a mission. But it's all about people not following the chain of command, not following the 12 general orders. OC, I'm glad you got some good training because I was wondering. I was like, I hope whoever formation you're a part of that you get good training and get that political education. Now let's talk about that right quick. If you don't have political education and you don't know the struggles that they went through in the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, when they finally flooded the Panther Party with drugs and alcohol and other women, let's just put it like that. I'm not gonna put it all on them folks because it's us. Whenever something is put before us that we feel like we can have leverage over another person, we try to upplay that. Y'all ain't really doing nothing. Y'all ain't really doing this. Y'all ain't doing that. Where is your food program at? Where's your service to the people programs book? I read this book every day trying to develop products and ideas for the community so we can be self-sufficient. Where's your shoe brand? Where's your own clothing brand? Where are your economic stability plans? Where's your from farm to table plans that you're making and developing in your chapter? That's the type of things that I wanted to do. That's where I was in the movement, trying to better my community. All this other little Negro nonsense, I left that back in the bike club world. You can leave that in your civilian life. You don't need to bring none of that stuff into the Black Power movement, and they not gonna let you bring it in the Bike Club movement. That's one thing I love about being a biker. We have a 1% that controls the 99. Okay, so when you get out of pocket in order, and I believe that this new central committee and these programs that Aisha and them are developing will help us get to that level. That's a great thing. It's not a bad thing for us to come together and have some people govern us. We say we want our own land. What we gonna do with it? Who gonna take care of it? How we gonna operate it? If we can't even operate from your city to my city, you know what I'm saying? If I do an event and you do the same type of event, you think I stole your idea. You don't even live in DC. You know what I'm saying? You don't even you can what you doing can't be in your city can't benefit the people in my city. But if we collaborate and you do your event this week, I do my event that week, the Black Panther Party gonna be ringing all over the country because we doing stuff. We started Black Love Sundays in DC. We went all the way to Washington, what was it, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and did a Black Love Sunday and gave away free food and not just any food. We gave away free food, free drinks, crabs, uh, hot dogs, hamburgers, everything. I catered that with my money. I took my birthday money and did that with. You understand what I'm saying? And to have the same people that we went down there to help set us up and carry on. We'll talk about that another day, OC though. But it was definitely a setup. It was definitely a lot of stuff going on. I didn't haven't heard who was all on the white list or whatever, but I'll go back and look at it. But just thank you for this show. Thank you for this opportunity. Brother AJ, I love you. Brother Ezra, I love you. Sister Aisha, Black Power Queen, you know what I'm saying? And anybody else that is a real revolutionary and know that we put our hearts into this. And I had to just sit back and watch everything that I worked hard for get picked apart and shitted on, and my name slandered all over stuff. and accusing me of sleeping with people. I ain't never had to sleep with nobody in this party. Never. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Never have
that's
I
another
ever
thing, man.
done anything like that.
Yeah, that's nerve. And they go around
Yeah.
accusing everybody of sleeping with everybody when that's what they doing, bro. Like, come on, man. They sit there talking about, oh, AJ sleep on girls in pants out. Name one girl in pants out that I slept with. It was one girl who hollered at me before she even joined pants out. You know what I'm saying? But I never even tried no girl in my unit, man. Look, man, when you a leader in this shit, you don't holler at females, they holler at you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the honest. But I ain't even partaking in none of that shit. So it's just insane to me that these cats make all these rumors. Like, okay, bro, really? Then show who? Show me who in my unit I done slept with. Somebody that I went hooked up with that while they were in my unit. Show me. You ain't gonna find one. I got 180 chapters in 4 continents, and every single one of them will tell you that's some bullshit. Nobody falls for that shit, but like, stop the slander. Everybody knows y'all lying. Y'all might fool some civilians out there, but everybody in the movement knows y'all are full of shit because they all know us. Everybody know everybody in this shit, so that shit don't work. That's why none of the slander campaigns stick, because it's all lies.
Indeed. Well, all right, y'all. You know, man, it's been a good episode. We put out a lot of truth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell the people, you know, to don't even just take our word for it. Do your own research. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take anybody's word. Do your own research on different individuals and people and what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at this point, you heard both sides now. Do your own research. Find out what makes the most sense to you. You know what I mean? So I'm landing with that. PCI, thank y'all for even coming to the platform. You know what I mean? Because you could have been on many platforms, but, you know, you came to this one. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for that. You know what I mean? Much love, AJ, all of y'all. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk to y'all soon. You know what I mean? We can build something with this as well. You know what I mean? So salute.
Black Power.
Salute, comrade. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Peace. And that's it. This been an episode for the day. You know what I mean? And just a quick commercial, of course, free ozone. You know, I got to put in those commercials, free ozone, ultra.org. And you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm going to have other broadcasts bring other people up. I think I'm going to put up a thumbnail tonight. Look out for that thumbnail. King Shamir is coming to the platform. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that one. You know how that brother bring it in. You know what I'm saying? You know how he get down. You know what I'm saying? So, but after all, you know, it's all love. It's all about the truth. Let the truth set you free. For real. Set us all free. You know what I mean? But it's up to y'all to actually do your own research on people instead of listening to these shows, these clown shows or whatever, you know, Wendy Williams type platform, because, you know, that's the thing now. That's what's making the money is the gossip. You know what I'm saying? But it's also gossip in the Black Power community as well. So we just have to move our minds in the right direction to go towards the truth. But yeah, and that's indeed, you know, like Brasco say, SAPPH. You know what I mean? That's the hashtag, you know, send all political prisoners home. Ultra.org, free ozone. Let's get it popping. I'll see you on the next one.